Folks, I hate to say this. I warned you guys. I've been talking about it in the live shows, and I'm not alone in this warning. I actually saw a really funny post by Corrine Tatum recently where she actually said this, and I'm telling you, I thought it was great, because here's the reality of it. We better not be jumping to praise people like Spotify for standing up for old Joe Rogan, because the reality of it is the only reason why they stood up for him wasn't because they were freedom loving. They stood up for him because they were money loving. That's right. Now, that's not the reason why I'm making this video. I'm making the video because these guys kind of turned their back on principles of freedom, which they've already done already. They've banned lots of other people in the name of issues like misinformation and all the other things that people contend. But the thing that's interesting about Joe Rogan is after so-called standing up for money, Joe, they then decide that they're going to plaster his videos with a warning about misinformation like all the other social media people. Now, I'm not making a statement about whether or not anything he says is correct. I am making a statement in support of his ability to be able to say those things. And the reality of it is, the Constitution makes it very clear that we have a right to do that. And by the way, it's not the Constitution that gives us that right. It's God Almighty. And you need to understand that the founding fathers who wrote this down actually knew that. They understood this very important principle. Now, I'm going to go preacher on you, but preacher is a part of my life. So here it is. When you are somebody who seeks God with all of your heart, you find yourself in a place of loving freedom. Why? Because freedom is the natural result of making a commitment to Christ. He removes the bondage of sin and all the other things that are in your life. You become free from the ultimate prison, the prison of your flesh and the prison of that dead spirit that existed within you, that old man. The new man moves in. There's a new sheriff, the sheriff of the universe, and that's exactly what happens. And when a nation chooses to embrace tyranny, it is a reflection of the fact that the people in leadership have abandoned God and the principles of God. Because when they abandon God, that is exactly what they do. Case in point, the White House is now telling Spotify, you haven't done enough to protect the people from Joe Rogan. Well, it has nothing to do with protecting the people from Joe Rogan. It has everything to do with protecting the people so that they may be able to carry out that which God had embedded within them, the freedom to be able to speak. Think about this for a second. If God will honor the free will of a man to the point that he will allow that man to reject Christ and go to hell, how much more should we as a people honor the freedom of one another? See, that's the point. If you're walking with God, you're going to understand that. If you're not going to understand it. And folks, based on what I can see from the fruit of the current regime, we're headed towards a lot of bondage. They're going to start taking away freedoms even more than they're doing it right now. And it's scary. So I would just tell you this, brace yourself. I know Jesus is coming soon, but it's time to stand up if you have not already done it. Not because you think you can change the country. We'll leave it up to God whether or not he wants to change the country. We stand up because we're commanded by God to do it. We need to be knocking on doors, talking to people. We need to be getting involved and engaging in this battle because it is a spiritual battle, and we need to come out and we need to be strong and unashamed about the things that we talk about. Why? Because that's God's calling on all of our lives, not just the shepherds, but on all of our lives. It's time to start speaking out and glorifying God as we embrace him, thus embracing the freedom that he brings to the table. God bless you guys. Remember to stay in it. Jesus is coming soon. That's our motivation. God bless you guys.